Y'all want new outcomes? You need new options.
I'm Simone, she's TSED. I'm Simone, she's TSED. I'm Simone, they call me TSED. Like that. I'm Simone, she's TSED. I'm Simone, she's TSED. I'm Simone, they call me TSED. Like that.
Okay, y'all, so there's lots of great data on how we can actually help ourselves to make changes. How long it takes, what you gotta do, how long you gotta stick with it, all the things. Today, I just want to tell you about one little piece of that that's gonna help you a lot. So when we want to make changes, a lot of times we start talking about what we want to stop doing. I'm never gonna do that again. I'm no longer doing that. I promised myself I'm not doing that anymore. Well, here's the problem. Your brain is about creating. Thoughts are about creation, making, building, right? Expanding, becoming. So when you set your intention to stop doing something, a lot of times your brain is like, what do you mean? In fact, whatever it is you're trying to stop or do or think about is stuck in your mind. I know we talked about this before, and it's called white bear syndrome. It has other names as well. It's when you are thinking about something, your brain has to hold it and be like, what? You're going to stop doing what? Okay. And constantly keeps that on your brain all the time. This is what I'm going to stop doing. I'm going to stop eating sugar. I'm going to stop eating sugar. By the time you blink, your brain's like, more sugar. If you want a different outcome, if you want better results, stop stating what you're going to stop doing and start talking about what you're going to start doing. You've got to give yourself more options. So let me break it down. If I gave you a brown crayon, a green crayon, and a white piece of paper, and I said, do not draw a tree. Please don't draw any trees. No big trees, no small trees, no little trees, no trees at all. Your brain would have tree, all in mind all the time. Instead of telling you what I don't want you to draw, it would be better for me to give you options of what you can draw. So I say, hey, I'm giving you a brown crayon, a green crayon, and a white sheet of paper, and you can draw dinosaurs, you can draw plants, you can draw animals, you can draw, right? You know what I'm saying? If I give you an idea of what you can do, if I give you a list of options of what you can do, that beautiful space, which is the mind, the brain, will jump into action and be able to start creating, because that's what the brain wants to do. So let's take something else, for example. Some of us may want to stop eating a certain thing, or stop drinking a certain thing, or stop speaking a certain way, or stop using certain words. Whatever it is that you decide to do, you've got to stop focusing on stopping and start focusing on what you do want to start doing. I want to use more of these words and give your brain options of the words you can use. I want to eat more of these foods and start listing the foods that are good options that you do want to start eating. When you have that craving for sugar and you're like, I'm not eating sugar, instead of saying I'm not eating sugar, give yourself the alternative that you will allow yourself to eat, like maybe fruits, natural sugar, right? So that's the key. And I know there are tons of resources out there to help you to embrace change. And I think you should embrace all of them and make sure you look at the ones that really speak to your heart and soul. This is just a small piece to remind you that as you are setting these intentions and these things you want for yourself, be clear on what you do want, what direction you are going in. And as a matter of fact, next episode, I'll talk a little bit more about setting these goals. That's a whole other conversation. So you can understand it in a different way. Now, this is a good place to point out the different types of motivation, right? We're all different. There's not just a one size fits all. I know y'all heard me say that before. I think it's really important to point that out, though, because there are people who are toward motivated, which means they want to know where they're going. What am I going to go get? Where's that carrot? I'm going for it. And there's other people who are away from motivated. I don't want that to happen, so I'm going this way. I'm terrified that that may happen. I'm going this way, right? So there's no wrong type of motivation. And trust me, you can scour the internet and find a lot of experts talking about a lot of types of motivation. I'm not here to discredit any of that. I'm only sharing with you the parts that I am very familiar with and I see work for me. So if you find that you do best when you know what you don't want, no worries. A lot of times you actually have to identify what you don't want so you can get clear on what you do want. So let me be very clear with you. You're going to identify that I don't want to eat sugar. That's totally normal. You can say that and state that. Be clear about it. Journal about it if you want to. But on the other end of that, make sure you state what you do want so your brain can flip into creation mode. How do I create the scenario, the cravings, the desire, and the focus to obtain that goal that I say that I want? All right, y'all, don't let me get too far into goals. That's for next episode. But for now, I do want you to remember, if you want to make a change, it's going to be very helpful to your brain and your mind if you could stay focused on what you do want. Let that picture of what you want get bigger and bigger and bigger in your mind. As a matter of fact, in neuro-linguistic programming, Y'all know what it is by now, right? And NLP. It's super important that we recognize that our brain is seeing in these pictures. So whatever it is that I'm focused on and thinking about becomes a picture in my mind. And the more I think about it and the clearer I make that picture, the more I'm going to be connected to that image. So do I want an image of tons of sugar because I'm running away from it? Or do I want an image in my mind of fruits and vegetables and healthy body and optimized and feeling really strong? Whatever picture I'm holding is what I'm going to be walking towards. So again, that language can be super important. That focus can be super important. So make sure that your verbal language and your mental language are completely focused on that. I know it's not always easy to change, guys, but you can do it. And when you want something bad enough, oh my goodness, trust me, you go for it like nobody's business. I can always tell what you want by the actions you're taking. So when you want to make change, I can look right at you and see if you really, really want to make that change. Let's just help it to be a little bit easier on ourselves by keeping what we do want in mind. All right, stay tuned for next episode where I'm going to go a little bit deeper into goals and you are going to love it. So I'll see you next Sunday. Bye.
I'm Simone, she's TSED. I'm Simone, she's TSED.